Right, so kan jy goed uit die dood uit ruk en basically sonder kunsmis boer en al daai tipe van goeders. Ek is saam met Ecosoil vandag hierso naby Montetjie. Ek praat met Niel Evans. Nou okay, hulle het hierdie plaas so 3 maande terug letterlik oorgevat. En toe het hulle die ding begin Ecosoil en te kere gaan. Ons vind uit wat is sy ervaring gewees. Hy het Tamaties hier agter my. Nie 'n korreltjie kunsmisie. Basically, okay, 2 korrels kunsmis sou julle nou vertel. Kort en nie lank is, luister as jy dink aan boerdery en regtig in die toekoms wil vorentoe gaan, kyk hierso, dit is regtig awesome. Niel, hoe gaan dit?
Nee, gaan goed, dankie. Dis mooi om julle hierso
Ja, dankie baie.
Dankie vir die besoek.
So, vertel my eers 'n bietjie, nee. Gee my so 'n bietjie. Jy kan nou maar jou Queen's English gooi hierso, nee. Maar ek gaan maar my Afrikaans want my Engels is baie limited. Vertel my, gee my so 'n bietjie geskiedenis. Julle is nou hier in die Montetjie area, maar jy kom van Natal af. Gee my so 'n bietjie agtergrond oor jouself. Hoe loop jy goed?
Ek kan bietjie Engels praat.
Jy kan maar gaan vergat.
Ek is van die Vrystaat, maar ek's half en half. So we had a 42-hectare vegetable farm in Natal, which we ended up selling about 18 years ago.
Ja.
What we found on that farm, because we were using obviously chemical fertilizer, that was 42 hectares of cabbage, cauliflower, lettuce, tomato, you name it. And we were
So proper vegetable farm.
Proper vegetable farm, proper program. We had tunnels as well, but that's a different story. And we were just having to, at the end of the day, to cut a long story short, by the time we sold that, we were putting in more and more and getting less and less. It's as simple as that. And those soils were red loam, beautiful soils. So
you had literally mined everything from the soil at that stage.
I didn't understand it back then.
Yeah.
I didn't understand it. I just knew that we were struggling to get the same size cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli. And we were putting in more and more and getting the same or less and less. But I didn't realize it at the stage because, organic farming was like a swear word.
Yeah, I mean, and still in some instances it is still, and I mean, until I tripped over Ecosoil, I was thinking the same thing. En ek is daai ou as jy vir my sê ek my kunsmis sny, gaan jag ek jou van my plaas af weg.
Nee, regtig.
Maar ek het nou al 'n paar goed gesien hierso en dit is bietjie wat ek met jou wil bespreek. Jy het nou eerste ding, vertel my nou, okay, so hier naby Montetjie, jy het nou die plaas gekoop. Julle so Januarie het julle, ons is nou, as julle nou die datum wil weet, dis die einde April, 29 April 2025 nou, net om julle konteks te gee. Julle kan sien ook is al herfst, die bome is al bietjie besig om af te gaan en so, maar vertel my gou, hoe lyk die boerdery opset hierso?
So, ons het 21 Januarie hierso ingetrek.
Ja?
Dit was die eintlike datum. En ek sê vir jou, die bome was, ons het die appelkose gemis, maar die perskes was op die bome. Daar was amper geen groente nie. So no veggies to speak of. The veggies that were here were very sparse and very, we got rid of the watermelons and the sweet corn. But we've been here just over 3 months. And I'll tell you a little bit of background. My partner saw Ecosoil on the internet. And she said to me, Neil, this is something you need to take note of if we're going to go farming down there. So what we did is we phoned, and the first person we got hold of was Niel Ferreira.
Yeah.
He's here today. He's just hiding behind one of these trees.
Yeah, which is impressive.
Yeah,
if you know Neil's size, it's impressive that he's able to hide. Julle kan hom nie nou daar sien nie, maar ja.
So I said to Brenda, I'm not phoning those guys because I'm not interested in organic farming. And she said, listen, you just speak to them.
Because I mean, you're a chemical first, ons steekie kunsmis, want dit is hoe ons gaan.
Old school. My grandfather, his grandfather, my father, and obviously me, we all did the same thing, as every other farmer in this country. And Brenda said to me, listen, phone these people. So 2 or 3 phone calls to Niel. He said, listen, let me know when you're down here. We got down here, Niel came. We had about a 2-hour meeting with him. And before he got to Montague, and that's only 14 kilometers away, Brenda and I had already decided, that's it. We are going to look after the soils on this place because the soils here are good, but if you'll kill them easily.
100%.
You'll kill them.
They haven't got the resilience of that
So,
compost that you farmed with in KZN.
100%. No, that stuff we farmed with in KZN was the richest soil in the world, and literally, by the time we left that farm after 20-something years of farming there, you would have to rest that farm for about 5 years before you could get back
To production
farming.
levels that actually made sense.
Yeah, and then you just start all over again, and another 5 years later you'd stop again.
100%.
After our chat to Niel, we said that's it. Niel brought us the fertilizer a week later, and we have been incredibly happy with the results.
And you're saying fertilizer, but it's not really fertilizer. Eh?
Neil brought us our consignments.
In your mind, at least it's a replacement.
He drove in here with a tank.
Yeah.
And he said, listen, you must put this tank up and you must wash this stuff into that tank. Compost extract. So we do that. And then he took out about 1,000 different barrels and he put them all in different groups. And we started using it. And I haven't even used it to his 100% recommendation. The trees have responded unbelievably, and you'll see pictures from these trees. The vegetables, we've had marrows now growing since January.
I just want to on the tree side, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, because you can see these are some of your older leaves, okay?
These are the leaves that were here when we got here.
Yeah.
These had just been picked, right? Now, if you look here,
That's the new growth, new flushes
that's
that
the new
basically
growth.
came in.
And if you step back a bit,
I mean, it's autumn now, so
It's autumn. They should be turning.
They should be turning now.
but if you look at the tops of the trees, they're green.
Yeah.
And we'll go to, if we walk to that tree there, just quickly, you will see that tree was not going to make it.
Wow, hy het weer al uitgeloop.
This tree was not going to make it.
And
We-
this is now something you can just go and prune it down now.
We're going to go and prune this tree, but
You've still got a tree.
this tree was not going to make it.
My
And look at the color of these leaves. These leaves, you can see that branch on the other side has still got the same color.
En toe het julle hulle basies, maar jy het hulle een shot gegee, né?
Hulle het net een shot gegee. Hulle gaan nog 'n shot kry voor die einde van hierdie maand. En dan is dit klaar vir winter. Maar hierdie tamaties hier so agter my,
Dit is wat ek nou mee
Ja.
wil oor praat, né? Is die tamaties, né?
bear in mind, dis nou Mei maand.
Dit is nou die ding, nie my nie, April. Dis
April.
Jy het hierdie goed wanneer geplant, né? Hulle is 2 maande oud nou, 60 dae.
Ja, hulle is bietjie ouer. Ons het hierso 15de Februarie ingesit.
15 Februarie. Okay, so is wel
Dit kom dis
75 dae.
dis onder 3 maande.
Nee. So 75 dae dan nou basically. Maar okay, en Niel het gesê sit 'n bietjie MAP in, né?
Ja.
Dat jy net jouself cover, toe het jy daarom vir hom geluister. Hoeveel het jy ingesit?
Op die hele plaas het ons 4 maal 36. So dis die enigste chemiese kunsmis wat ek op hierdie hele plaas gesit het. Net om Niel happy te
So eintlik jy het dit nie regtig, jy het nie eens kunsmis gegooi, maar dit almal
Daar
tref
aan die
nie.
kant was daar 2 sakkies, hierdie kant was daar 2 sakkies.
So jy het miskien 5 kg per hektaar
Die
gegooi.
enigste rede wat ek gedoen het is die plantjies was baie dit was nie mooi plantjies toe hulle gekom het nie.
Want dit is wat ek nou by jou wil hoor nie. Toe plant jy toe so hulle het nog jou saailinge was ook nie lekker nie, né?
Nee, hulle was te lank en hulle was baie dun. So ek was nie happy met die saailinge nie, maar ek het net daai 2 sakkies MAP opgesit op hierdie hele stuk en dan het ek begin met die Ecosoil elke 2 weke en jy kan maar sien.
Want ek meen kyk hier, so kyk hierdie drag aan hierdie goed, né?
Ja, en
as jy nou kan kyk hier, ek hoop julle kan die tamaties sien op die kamera.
Dis 'n determinate variety as well.
Nou jou ervaring met tamaties, die ding smaak 'n stukkie kunsmis.
Nee.
Hy soek kunsmis.
Hulle hou van kunsmis en water.
As ek nou 20 jaar terug vir jou gesê het, jy gaan met geen kunsmis nie op gronde wat vir alle praktiese doeleindes uitgemyn was, want die ou by weer gekoop het soos ek verstaan, waar al vir 3 jaar verkoop het, so hy het nie regtig weer geïnvesteer in die grond nie.
Nee, niks nie.
So alles uitgetrek het, jy gaan met 'n bietjie aardwurmsap en 'n kompostee en 'n wat ook al, ek noem dit nou maar sommer, ek weet whatever hoe die goeters is, gaan jy hierdie oes afval wat sê vir my gesê?
Nee, ek sou vir jou gelag het, want ek kom van daai chemiese agtergrond en I must say I would have laughed at you. In fact, if it wasn't for my partner that said to me we're going this way, I would have still fought a little bit.
Okay, maar dis jy ook nou happy wife, happy life tipe van nou, jy moet daai nog in ag neem, né?
Nee. Yes, sy het gesê, luister. Farming's changed. As jy that's all about sustainable agriculture. So we could plant these fields for 5 years with chemicals and we'll do okay. But it's going to cost. But what's going to happen after 3-4 years? We're going to plant here and we're going to realize we've wasted 5 years because we're not looking after the soil. And like I said, the soils here are not the type of soils that you can mess around with. They got a very high sand component. They're not as loamy as a lot of soils. They don't have as high a carbon content. So these soils, of all the soils, that's what actually decided me to go with this whole thing.
So, another thing, okay. En hierso is waar ek nou wil, jy weet, ons koop, ek dink dit is min boere wat nie rarig inkoop in die hele biologiese dinge en het sê, okay, ja, maar daar is scope nie, maar jou kapitale investering in dit en is altyd 'n balancing act, want jy is in hierdie ratrace in met die chemie en al die goed, akkurat, jy kan nie rarig stop nie, kan ook nie aangaan nie, maar jy kan ook nie stop nie, jy is half in between.
Nee, jy moet stop, want as jy nie, if you don't look after the soil, dan gaan jy moet stop.
100. Maar dan gaan jy stop en 'n sosatie eet op jou eie veiling. Dis basically wat gaan gebeur.
Dan so hierdie tamaties as die selle krop in 3 jaar se tyd sal nie so lyk. Hierdie tamaties het hard teëgekom. Dis nie hulle was bietjie laag geplant. Die saailinge was nie so sterk nie. En kyk hulle groei eintlik nog, maar with a variety, dis nou die einde, die vrugte moet nou groot word en dan vat ons hom af. So ons kan eintlik nie sê nie dat ek kan sê that there is no way that chemical and ecosoil is any different. You've got the same or better results with the ecosoil, but you know for a fact that the next time you come to plant here for the next 10 years, if you're using ecosoil, you're looking after your soil. There's no ways that you can say that if I put chemical fertilizer in here, I would get a better crop. You can't say that because we've had a 42-hectare vegetable farm. We planted tomatoes every year, inside and outside, and I can tell you the results that we were getting. And that was putting in, through the water, tons of soluble fertilizer. And this here hasn't had much Ecosoil. It's had every 2 weeks. And I'm a lot happier because I know when I take this out and it's going to cauliflower broccoli, the soil is already looked after. I'm not going to have to go and put down 100 kgs or 250 kgs or 300 kgs of 232 or something just to get my crop going. I can just come, start, put my Ecosoil in, plant the cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, whatever, and I know that because of the fertilizer we've used, the soil is in a better place than it was. So that's what we've bought into with Ecosoil. And the fact of the matter, it's not, for me it's not, is chemical better than Ecosoil? For me, it's about sustainability. I'm not a young man, but I'm not an old man. I need to farm this soil for another 15 years. So I can't neglect this soil because in 15 years' time, you might as well just, it'll be a wasteland.
What would you say to people sitting on the fence wondering, should I not, how do I start, how do you do it?
Listen, we've gone in boots and all. I don't say that that's for everybody. Do a trial. Why are you so scared of doing a trial? Do a trial. I mean, we could have put chemical fertilizer on the rest of the farm and just done this little block here as a trial. And I can confidently say you wouldn't see the difference. I don't understand why farmers are so scared to do a trial. All the farmers that I've watched on Ecosoil videos and what Niel said, just do a trial. I said, no, we're going for it. Because we've seen the results, and I'll be 100% honest with you, Niel Ferreira is a very honest human being, very trustworthy. Trust me, when all the other companies saw Ecosoil here, because the one company did arrive while Ecosoil was here, all of a sudden they wanted to bring their organic experts. And Niel was the one that told me as it is. He said, listen, you might get this, you'll get the same results, but you'll do it for the next 20 years. If you go chemical, you'll get decent results, but then you're going to see a drop off. And these days farming is expensive.
Yep.
So if you go and look at your fertilizer cost, if you can bring down your fertilizer cost for the same crop. So to all those guys that are sitting on the fence, I can stand here as a farmer, 4th generation farmer, who's grew up doing chemicals. I can tell you, and I cannot tell you there's any difference whatsoever. In fact, I'm very happy with it.
Right, so dit is Niel Evans, hierso van naby Montetjie. Okay, ons gaan 'n bietjie vir hulle kom kuier volgende jaar ook, nee. Kyk hoe hierdie plaas bly doen op Ecosoil en al die goed. Dit het vir julle sê, hy tamaties, nee. Daar's ten minste 40 ton tamaties daarso. Vir 'n ding wat basies 2 maande in die grond is, swak saailinge, nie 'n korreltjie kunsmis nie. Jesus, dit wil gedoen wees. So, linkie bo of hieronder, julle met link kontak kom. Dis die van Farmspace af, tot volgende keer. Groete.